and sacked back at midfield. Ogbonnia Okoronkwo, sack man of that Oklahoma defense.
To the inside and against Isaiah Prince. He's worked so hard to improve his pass protection. The times that we do get Rudolph under pressure, and Rudolph sacked. What a huge play. Oba, first sack of the day.
Here's Ellinger coming around, and he is stripped. It's the guy we talked about, Okoronkwo. They had him single blocked by Denzel Okum, the quarterback. The first third down, he was on the front side of the quarterback. This time he comes from the blind side. The arm was coming forward, but I'm not so sure that ball didn't come out first.
Welcome, Ramley, to a new Clash of the Horns. It's a little mini video talking about what I believe to be the secret recipe for this Rams defense success, and that's Ogbonnia Okoronkwo from Oklahoma. We drafted him in the 5th round, and it was speculated that he was going to be like the 4th best pass rusher coming out of this draft. And when the Rams picked him up in the 5th round, I was very excited. But then it came out that he had a foot injury. Maybe that's why he was drafted later. Maybe it's just one of those stubborn, lingering injuries. He's back now practicing, but from what I understand, he is not ready to play yet. So you would think after sitting out for a while, you'd be, grasping the defense a little bit better. But I'm thinking he's more of a hands-on guy. He's gonna have to get into the rotation a little bit, and then eventually he'll start beasting for the LA Rams defense, which I think its worst attribute is its outside pass rush, because you got a great interior pass rush or ground stopping defensive lineman with Michael Brockers and Donovan Stu and Aaron Donald. Basically, in my opinion, the most star-studded, and I want to say the best, but I think they're in like a little bit above average at the defensive line at that level right now. But the pass rush on the outside is not that very good. We've been getting, I don't want to say lucky, because that diminishes performances from other players stepping up, but they come too far in between where I can say it's consistent pass rush. You know what I mean? They come. Sandstone's got, I think, 2 sacks this season. John Franklin Myers with a great sack slash. He created a turnover against Kirk Cousins to win the game on Thursday night. And that, I think Matt Longacre has 1 sack. That's basically our outside pass rush. We don't really have a consistent pass rusher on the outside to make like mobile quarterbacks like Case Keenum and Russell Wilson and guys like that. Kirk Cousins is another example where I felt like if we had a pass rush on the outside, a consistent one, and a guy that was a little bit faster, that we could have sacked Cousins like about 4 times. It just didn't happen though, because credit to them, he found a way to get away. But I think the Rams really missed out on a lot of opportunities because they don't have that guy yet. And I think that's Ogbonnia Okoronkwo, who, in my opinion, is like a 2nd to 3rd round talent that ended up going to the 5th round because of his foot injury. Because I think a lot of people were looking at him that he was undersized or he wasn't that fast, but he can play. And it's shown when the Rams get guys that don't really fit the draft, how do you say, like the shiny toy in the draft, basically, like the guy that doesn't have the fastest 40 time or doesn't have the best attributes, but the guy can play. Guys like Cooper Kupp can play. John Johnson's another gem the Rams picked up in the 3rd round. We haven't seen much from other guys in this year's draft, but the last draft, Cooper Kupp wasn't like a top tier talent. Everybody was saying, well, Cooper Kupp's overrated, this and that. And all those guys that made those videos have deleted those videos because people were giving them backlash. Because Cooper Kupp, in my opinion, was 1st or 2nd best wide receiver to come out of that draft. Even though he's a slot guy, he's so good, man, and to cut up defenses. John Johnson, on the other hand, he's a defensive player, safety. He already has like about 3 or 4 interceptions in his career. He's a great coverage guy. I think him and Cooper were, in my opinion, like split between the Rookie of the Year. I know Cooper Kupp gets a lot of, he's gotten a lot of touchdowns, yards, but here comes on the defensive side, John Johnson coming out of nowhere, taking a starting position like in week 3 off of Maurice Alexander's hands. They ended up cutting Maurice Alexander. John Johnson has been a star ever since. So I think Ogbonnia Okoronkwo is that kind of player where his attributes or his physicality is you know, on the number side, like in the draft side where they measured his 40 time and then measured how many bench presses he has and his height, his strength. He can play, and that's all that matters to me. Is he can get after the quarterback and sack the quarterback. That's all that matters to me. Look at Aaron Donald. They looked at Aaron Donald like he wasn't the biggest guy. He was undersized. He was very good physically. He had moves and everything, but he just wasn't your defensive tackle prototype kind of player. And he's now like the best defensive player by miles. So don't ever look at the draft people like they know what they're talking about. If the guy can play, the guy can play. And I think that's Ogbonnia Okoronkwo on the edge. But right now, they're saying that he's just be practicing. He's not going to be starting right off the bat. I would consider him semi-healthy enough to practice, but he's not like ready to go. So let me know what you guys think about Ogbonnia Okoronkwo. If you guys haven't seen much from him, go check up his highlights. Go check up some Oklahoma games from last season. And I'm telling you, he was the best player on that defense by a mile. And he was looked at to be, I think, one of the best players on the defense in the country. And he ended up going in the 5th round. So give him a look. Just go watch the tape and let me know what you guys think. Until next time, you guys. Peace. Go Rams.
3rd and 10. Pressure coming. Smith loses the ball. Recovered by Oklahoma. And with no timeouts remaining.
And it hit a great play, a guy that we expected to make a lot more plays tonight, and he's been silent. Just way too much for Patrick Lawrence.